In the heart of the United States, where the echoes of history meet the pulse of the present, lies a tale that transcends the conventional narratives. Welcome to the journey through the labyrinth of American governance, a story woven with threads of democracy, republicanism, and the enduring spirit of the Constitution. Our story begins in the late 18th century, a pivotal moment when visionaries gathered to draft a document that would shape the destiny of a nation. The Constitution emerged as the supreme law, a beacon illuminating the path toward a novel form of governance, a constitutional federal republic. The term federal introduces us to the intricate dance between a central government and individual states. Picture a grand symphony where powers are harmoniously distributed, a delicate balance to prevent tyranny and nurture the diverse voices echoing across the nation. Enter the concept of a republic, where the citizens, as if in a grand theatrical performance, cast their votes to elect representatives. This democratic republic becomes a living, breathing entity, an embodiment of the people's will, where the stage is set for the protection of individual rights. Amidst this narrative, the Constitution emerges as the protagonist, a guardian of liberty, justice, and the rule of law. Every word etched on its parchment becomes the compass guiding the nation through storms and triumphs. The judiciary steps into the spotlight, a group of guardians ensuring that the Constitution's promises are not mere words, but a living reality. Their gavels echo through time, shaping the very fabric of justice. Our journey unravels the delicate dance between democracy and constitutionalism. The Constitution acts as a sturdy bridge, allowing the nation to stride confidently, balancing the ever-changing desires of the people with the timeless principles etched in its text. As we continue this journey, we find ourselves in the midst of a heated debate. Recent political discourse has seen the words democracy and republic brandished like swords in a duel. Picture this: Biden's speech at Independence Hall, where he fervently uttered the word democracy 31 times, while republic was mentioned a mere twice. A reflection, some might say, of the current political climate. On the other side of the spectrum, the Republican Party emphasizes the role of the republic, advocating for restraint on democracy. Senator Mike Lee of Utah even boldly proclaimed, "We are not a democracy." This discourse, this tug-of-war between democracy and republicanism, further illuminates the delicate balance that forms the bedrock of our American governance system. It's a balance that's constantly tested, and yet, miraculously, it holds. In the wake of this tug-of-war, we're drawn to another intriguing facet of our nation's governance. The word democracy is conspicuously absent from the Constitution, an omission that often stirs debate and ignites passionate discussions. This absence, some argue, is not a mere oversight, but rather a deliberate choice by the Founding Fathers to underscore the United States as a republic where the majority rules but the rights of the minority are protected. To further illustrate this point, let's draw a comparison. Take a look at the Democratic Republic of the Congo, a nation that carries democracy in its very name. Yet its reality is far from the democratic ideals it purports to uphold. Plagued by corruption, violence, and political instability. This absence of democracy in the Constitution is a stark reminder that the United States is a republic, not a pure democracy, and certainly not the Democratic Republic of the Congo. It's a fine line, a delicate dance, and the balance, though constantly tested, is what defines us as a nation. In the year 2020, George Thomas, the Wohlford Professor of American Political Institutions at Claremont McKenna College, penned a thought-provoking article in The Atlantic. His words shed light on the ongoing debate over the terminology used to describe our governance system. Thomas acknowledged some truth to the insistence on calling the U.S. a republic, a term that emphasizes the rule of law and the importance of institutions. However, he argued that this is mostly disingenuous. The Constitution, he posits, was designed to foster a complex form of majority rule, not to enable minority rule. And this is not just a linguistic quibble. It's a fundamental battle over what American government aspires to be. Are we a democracy where the voice of the people is, as the Latin phrase inscribed on some of our official buildings states, Vox Populi, Vox Dei, the voice of the people is the voice of God? Or are we a republic? That is to say, a government of laws, not of men, deriving its authority not by divine right of inheritance or strength of arms, but by reason and by adherence to the mechanisms of the Constitution. This battle over terminology continues to shape our understanding of what it means to be a nation under a constitution. As we move forward, let's keep this discourse alive. As we delve deeper into the intricacies of governance, it becomes essential to understand the republic government system. In a republic, power rests with the people. They are the ones who elect or choose their leader, a process that contrasts sharply with leaders being appointed or inheriting power. The republic, in its essence, is a government system without a monarch. A republic may be governed by a group of nobles, provided there isn't a single monarch. This structure emphasizes the collective, the shared decision-making process, the idea that the people, through their elected representatives, are the ones driving the nation forward. Countries around the world, such as Argentina, Bolivia, the Czech Republic, and France, have adopted this model of governance. Their systems highlight the republic's core principles: rule of law, the importance of institutions, and the power vested in the people. This understanding of a republic government system further enriches our exploration of the terminology used to describe our own governance system. As we strive to define and redefine our nation under the Constitution, we must continue to explore these diverse systems of governance and learn from them. As we move forward into the next scene, let's keep in mind that the battle over terminology is not just about words. It's about how we perceive our nation, its governance, and its people. Welcome to the next turn in our labyrinth of American governance. As we venture deeper, we encounter a scene riddled with political intrigue and power plays. Picture this: the Justice Department stands accused of playing politics to derail a potential second presidential bid. Allegations of political persecution echo within the corridors of power. The Republicans, relentless in their pursuit, have discovered classified documents in President Joe Biden's residence. This discovery has sparked investigations into the Biden administration's withdrawal from Afghanistan, with demands for accountability ringing loud and clear. It seems as if the U.S. state apparatus has been reduced to a tool for political parties' self-interest. As we navigate this labyrinth, we stumble upon the disturbing reality of party politics, increasingly following race and identity lines. The Financial Times observation accentuates this reality. Republicans are predominantly white, hailing from small towns and rural areas, while Democrats are almost entirely urban and multi-ethnic. More alarming is the belief among more than a third of Republicans and Democrats that violence is justified to achieve their political ends. This sentiment intensifies the feeling of foreign occupation when one party loses, a feeling all too familiar to its voters. Political scientist Barbara Walter dubs the U.S. a factionalized anocracy, a halfway state between autocracy and democracy. This political tug-of-war, this factionalized anocracy, adds another intricate layer to the complex labyrinth of American governance that we are navigating. As we proceed, let's ponder on the implications of this reality and how it shapes our understanding of our nation's governance. Delving deeper into the labyrinth, we find ourselves confronting a mirage that is no other than the supposed bastion of American liberty, the freedom of speech. Despite its grandiose claims, the freedom of speech in the United States is often upheld according to self-centered U.S. standards. Partisan interest and money politics act like two big mountains weighing heavily on this freedom. Any speech that challenges the interests of the U.S. government or capital often faces strict restrictions. The U.S. government has all-encompassing regulations on media and technology companies to intervene in public opinion. This was glaringly evident in December 2022 when Twitter CEO Elon Musk and journalist Matt Taibbi exposed Twitter files, revealing the extent of U.S. government scrutiny on social media companies. Imagine the scenario. Google is frequently pressured to remove certain links. Twitter is tasked with censoring sensitive information about presidential candidates ahead of the 2020 election, and the creation of blacklists to limit the exposure of unpopular accounts becomes a common practice. All the while, the FBI monitors social media content, and the U.S. military is given carte blanche to spread disinformation online. This stark reality tears away the veneer of free speech in the United States, raising a question: is the freedom of speech truly a cornerstone of American democracy, or merely a beautifully crafted illusion? As we continue our journey through this labyrinth, we must confront these unsettling truths and question the very foundations of our understanding of American governance. As we peel back the layers of the American democratic illusion, we stumble upon a more unsettling truth: the hypocrisy of democracy. This hypocrisy is starkly evident in how the so-called democracies of the US and the West manipulate international rules for their own convenience. They denounce Russia's invasion of Ukraine while conveniently forgetting their own numerous interventions, subversions, and interferences across the globe. The US, under the Biden administration, ended a 20-year war in Afghanistan with a hasty troop withdrawal, leaving a shattered nation and destroyed futures in its wake. Yet, even after leaving, the U.S. continued to sanction Afghanistan, freezing the assets of the Afghan central bank and exacerbating the suffering of the local people. A UN-backed report published in May 2022 revealed that nearly 20 million Afghans were facing acute hunger. Even after a devastating earthquake struck Afghanistan in June 2022, the U.S. refused to lift these sanctions. This selective adherence to the rules by the big powers erodes the credibility of the entire system. When the champions of democracy use it as a shield for their self-serving actions, one must question whether democracy is truly about the people or just another tool in the hands of those in power. As we navigate this political labyrinth, we must confront the unsettling reality of the hypocrisy of democracy.